Testing our mic, testing our mic. Hello, hello, hello.
Behind, over there where those little townhomes are.
Hold on. Jose, do you hear me?
Kind of like.
Do you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, I'm up here. You should hear me. Let me check. Hold on.
Yeah, it usually takes that one project to just kind of catalyst. Oh yeah, that's true. You think all the work. I remember sitting in a session with a developer once that worked on Little Italy. He's like, everybody says it's like the overnight success. He's like 30 years in the making. Like, like I get it. Yeah. I know.
You guys hear me yet? Because if you don't, that's not good. Hello? Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, William, AJ. Hi. Good morning. We're going to start. Yeah. All right. Please take a seat. Mayor Franklin, please sit up here. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm glad everybody found a spot to park and got part of your 10,000 steps in, I guess, right? Your phone clocks the steps. I was told my wife says, "Are you getting your 10,000 steps in?" And I said, "I don't know." And she goes, "Well, look at your phone." I'm like, "How does it work?" I don't know how to, like, it's 10,000 steps a day. Well, good morning. I'm John Seymour from National Community Renaissance. And on behalf of National Core and Hope Through Housing and San Diego Community Housing Corporation, our development partner, I'd like to welcome you to Santa Fe Senior Village in the great city of Vista. Woo! Yes. Absolutely. So at this time, I'd like to ask Mayor John Franklin to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Well, if you would, please stand with me, and if you can, and place your hand over your heart. And if you're a veteran, remember that the United States Congress and the Department of Defense have authorized you to render a salute, if not in uniform. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did you want me to talk now or later?
Later.
Very good. All right.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Santa Fe Senior Village was financed, developed, built, and owned by two nonprofits, San Diego Community Housing Corporation. Ted Miyahara will speak in a little bit here as the CEO of SDCHC, and National Core. This is a integrated, vibrant, supportive housing apartment community for seniors and veterans aged 62 and older. I wanted to give you the unit mix of this and how it kind of lays out. It's a little confusing. It was for me. I actually had to type it up. So follow me here. There's 54 homes here, 51 studios, 2 one-bedrooms, and 1 two-bedroom. The two-bedroom is for the full-time on-site property manager. The 51 studios and the 2 one-bedrooms are distributed as follows. There's 25 studios that are permanent supportive housing out of 54, which are fully furnished, thanks to Hope Through Housing, fully furnishing and your partners. Pretty nice. And those 25 have been set aside for seniors and senior veterans who have experienced homelessness or who are at risk of becoming homeless. The 2 one-bedrooms are also permanent supportive housing, meaning folks that were formerly homeless, and they're set aside strictly for veterans that are seniors as well. Then the rest, the remaining 26 studios, are for extremely low-income seniors, some of which are on the edge of homelessness. Just to confuse things is that the 26 ones for seniors, if you're also a veteran, you're not restricted from renting here. So in other words, the 2 set aside for veterans, you gotta be veterans and you gotta be senior, but if you're a veteran and you're not at risk of homelessness, please apply, get on the waiting list. I often think of our past apartment home communities as affordable housing. That's what it is. I was talking to my wife this morning and she goes, "Well, where would these seniors be if they didn't get the lottery ticket to live here?" I'm like, "Well, that's a good question. The shelters are full. I guess suppose they could live in their car. That sucks. They could move, but most of them, their lifelines are here, their safety nets are here. So they don't have a lot of options. And so I don't think of don't think Santa Fe is really affordable housing anymore. I call it a safety net. It truly is a safety net because that's all they got here now. And as our goal here is retention, as AJ will talk about, but once they're gone, they're gone. And so this is really a safety net. And so Ted, that's what I'm viewing is that, our projects we're building here are safety nets. And it's also, in so many ways, a national model. Santa Fe is a national model in so many ways. It is an immediate savings to taxpayers. Number one, it gets people off the streets, which means less emergency room visits, which means less police involvement, which means I can go on and on. So it is a savings to taxpayers, an investment, and it's a safety net. But it's also a national model when it comes to the financing and the capital stack, which means the money that went in to build it. So the private sector, in this regard, is carrying about 60% of the loan of the project. So the total project cost of $26 million, 60% of that is paid for by the private sector people, not government. The state and local chipped in, and they're carrying about 25%, and then the federal government about 15%. So it's pretty well leveraged up. The city's getting a great deal, the state's getting a great deal, the private sector is certainly carrying their load with 60% of the costs, and the federal government's last money in, $4.25 million, 15% of the cost roughly, is crucial in the construction. And I send that message that we need federal funds down here. We really do, to make these projects complete. Otherwise, if those federal funds aren't here, if it's not a lot of bake sales, we're going to have to ask cities and counties to step up to make these projects finance. Many sources in California estimate that 1/3 of our population is in poverty or close to poverty. And by some sources, that California has the highest poverty rate in the nation. If not, we're not the highest, we're up there. Whatever the true numbers are, we have a serious challenge here in California. We can't build our way out of this. Unfortunately, I don't believe we can anymore. We can't build as many Santa Fe senior villages as we need to build. The money's just not there. And we must think of a better way to reduce costs in California in order that we're not pushing people into poverty, which then pushes them into homelessness. So it's a two-way. It's build more housing and get costs under control. And without those two, the problem's not going to be solved. That's in my humble opinion. Now, now that I got that off my chest, I'd like to introduce and thank key people here for their support. First of all, one of our board of directors is here, Larry Van Noy. Raise your hand, Larry. Volunteer board of directors. Thanks, Larry, for being here. And I'm sure if Ted has any of his board, he will recognize them. County Supervisor Jim Desmond and staff. From the city of Vista, Mayor John Franklin, Deputy Mayor and Councilmember Katie Melendez, right, there you are, and Councilmember Karina Contreras. Two new council members that are on here that weren't elected at the time the project was approved, but they're here, Councilmember Jeff Fox and Councilmember Dan O'Donnell. Okay, please hold your applause until I get through everyone else. The electeds get the applause. Everyone else, just chill out here. Let me just get through this. So helpful in the city was John Connolly, my gosh, Patsy Chow, Mike Resler, and the recent past staff, Amanda Lee and Sylvia Solis Daniels. They were so beneficial to the movement in getting permits for this project. From the county, Dr. Kimberly Jardina. Kimberly is the Deputy CEO, and for the County Health and Human Services Agency, she'll be speaking today. Mr. David Estrella is here today. Ms. Tina Carubias, Felipe Marino, and Ms. Kelly Salmons have all put forth their support for this project in so many ways. Our other board of directors, volunteer board of directors, thank you. Thank you to our president, Mike Ruane, who keeps us well-funded with pre-development costs down here, at-risk money to get these projects built. Our executive vice president and general counsel, Robert Diaz, who keeps us out of trouble. And Ashley Wright, Randy, Leslie Hampton, Tracy Williams, Christine Campbell, Tim Kohut, and other team core members. And a huge shout out to the builders of this project is to our National Core construction team, amazing people who, from the very beginning of when we get our architect on board, they're there in every meeting. And when our architect, oh God, I love you, our architect, but sometimes it's like, let's do this, and core construction will go, oh, we can do something just as good and save money, right? And so that synergy between the architect and the general contractor is so amazing, and project savings is, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So thank you to Chris Killian, and thank you to Travis Haskin, Patrick Meredith, Kyle Isbell, Willie Rivera, and Angie G. Hanger, and Fernando Mapula. If you guys are there, raise your hands, and core construction, you guys rock. And then property management. So after it's built, property management comes in. So you have the financing, and then it gets to construction, and then property management. And property management staff, Courtney Richards, and her amazing staff, Anastasia Davis, Abraham Abrams, and so many others. They're in charge now of running the operations. If there's issues that arise, and we always know there will be, that there's no perfect project ever. Property management will, and Hope will be your go-to in that regard. From Hope Through Housing, we have Alyssa Cotter, our Vice President of Hope, Stephanie De La Torre, Regional Director, AJ Galka, Assistant Vice President of Operations and Supportive Housing, right here, Jasmine Martinez, who is our Services Coordinator from Hope. And then our joint venture partner, Ted Miyahara, President and CEO of San Diego Community Housing Corporation, and his great staff, John Worcester and Josh Balabin, and their board of directors. And thank you. Fusco Engineering, Mike Peluso, and Steve Miles, Steel Architects, thank you, did a wonderful job. Lauren Fector, Govin Barchet. We have numerous case management operations. I'm going to skip through that. TPS, it's so many, behavioral health services. Thank you to Algeier Construction. So Algeier Construction did all the move-in kits for all the residents here. And so thank you to Grant Algeier and Scott Sibler. And we just participated in a massive Harvest Springs Festival where, I don't know, there was like 18,000 bags which we stuffed, and then the distributors of that went out and distributed to all the affordable housing units of fresh fruits and vegetables. That was an amazing thing. HCD, HUD, the Vista Chamber of Commerce, the community here which supported this project, Hudson Housing Capital, Capital One, and CCRC as our mortgage lender. And so that's kind of what it took to get this thing done. And I really appreciate your being here today. And so now I'd like to ask our co-development partner to come up and do a little bit more, and then he will be introducing all of our speakers. So Ted Miyahara from SDCHC, thank you so much.
Good morning. Appreciate everybody being here today. San Diego Community Housing Corporation and National Core, here we are again. I can't express how proud we are to open Vista's first permanent supportive housing development. On behalf of SDCHC and National Core, thank you for believing in our vision. It's amazing to think that just a few years ago, this was a vacant lot. This was formerly the home to a mix of auto-oriented commercial buildings that unfortunately burned down. But from that loss came opportunity and a new beginning for this community. I can't think of a better use for this site. We're right in the heart of the transit district of Vista's downtown specific plan. We're a block away from the Sprinter station, steps to a high-frequency bus route, and a short walk to Vista's vibrant downtown. This development is a powerful example of how affordable housing enhances neighborhoods and becomes an asset to the entire community. This 54-unit community is designed to serve extremely low and very low income seniors, with rents targeting 30 to 40% of the area median income. The development includes a mix of studios, 1 and 2 bedroom units. Rents range from $850 for a studio up to about $1350 for a 2-bedroom apartment. Residents of this community have an added layer of financial stability thanks to the Housing Authority of the County of San Diego, which is providing 53 project-based vouchers. These vouchers play a critical role in ensuring that seniors can afford to live here with peace of mind and long-term security. Special thank you to the County of San Diego for providing a vital safety net. John, you stole the words right out of my mouth. A safety net for seniors who call this community home. The project also features a community center for resident activities. You're in it right now. Private offices for case management, and several outdoor spaces, including a community garden and barbecue area. Residents will have access to on-site supportive services and case management through Hope Through Housing, San Diego County Behavioral Health Services, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, and Gary and Mary West Pace. These partners will play a vital role in helping residents remain stably housed and supported. To the construction team of National Core, Chris Killian, Patrick Meredith, Travis Haskins, Kyle Isbell, and everybody else involved, thank you for being such a trusted partner. With National Core's construction team leading the way, we never have to worry. We know that the job will get done, and we know the job will get done right. You make the construction process feel effortless, and that doesn't go unnoticed. It really doesn't. We truly appreciate the excellence you bring to every single project and the peace of mind you give us as your partner. To our architect, M.W. Steele, thank you for designing such a beautiful building. Michael, you were amazing to work with, and we're looking forward to the next project. This project actually features quite a few sustainable elements, including it's 100% electric. There's solar power on the roof, water conserving measures, native and drought tolerant plants, energy efficient appliances, and the use of sustainable building materials. To my team, John Worster and Josh Balaban, thank you both. We did it again. You guys both punch above your weight, and just thank you for everything that you do. Projects like this are truly a result of a team effort. I want to especially thank our funding partners, the City of Vista and the County of San Diego. Your early investment is the reason why this development is here today. It was that early investment that allowed us to go out to the state of California and secure low-income housing tax credits. The County of San Diego contributed $9.375 million, and that included $4.25 million in home program funding and $5.125 million in No Place Like Home funding. The county's housing authority also provided project-based rental assistance. Thank you to the City of Vista for your $500,000 gap loan. We're grateful for your partnership. And on the private side as well, we're very grateful for Hudson Housing Capital, Capital One, and CCRC for being our funding partners. We have a $13.2 million construction loan from Capital One and $4.48 million from CCRC, and $11.25 million in tax credit equity from Hudson Capital and Capital One. It's a pleasure to introduce County Supervisor Jim Desmond. Supervisor Desmond has a long-standing commitment to affordable housing and addressing homelessness in our region. His thoughtful leadership has helped drive meaningful solutions and strategic investment that are truly making a difference in people's lives. Your approach to every challenge with a commitment to finding the right solution is greatly appreciated. You recognize that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. You lead with the community in mind, and you're always willing to adjust and improve policies as needs change. Allow me to welcome Supervisor Jim Desmond.
Thank you.
Well, it's always great to, be following John Seymour here in the San Diego Community Housing Organization. I get to go to all the grand openings throughout the county, and you've been doing a wonderful, every time a project comes forward, put forth by this partnership, it's truly a beautiful thing. And we all know that with homelessness, the seniors are our most vulnerable population. And providing this senior housing is a great thing, and I'm glad to see this many communities, Vista and other communities throughout San Diego County are embracing this effort. But was already mentioned, we have Kim Giardina from our Health and Human Services here, along with David Australia and many of our other county staff here today that helped put this together and provide that early funding, which is much appreciated. One of the other parts of that funding, as was mentioned, is the VASH vouchers. This is a Veterans Affairs supportive housing. We want to make sure our veterans, who signed on the dotted line to give their lives for our country, should have housing when they need it. And it was mentioned also the No Place Like Home dollars. Also, that comes along with this from the county, for 20 years of behavioral health services are going to be performed and made available to the residents here if they have any behavioral health issues or things like that for at least 20 years, maybe longer, if we can do that. But it's very much appreciated. But these aren't just buildings and apartments. These are solutions. These are solutions to the problems that we have in the county and throughout the region with homelessness. And so it's great to see and look at this as a solution, not just a building in a neighborhood, but solutions to all the issues that we're dealing with all the time. And I really want to thank National Corps for putting this forward. And John Seymour, you're always doing a great job. And I love following you around the county and opening up beautiful facilities like this. Thank you very much.
It's not every day that we get to work alongside leaders who are driving change in how we think about housing. John Seymour and I met with the mayor and every single city council member to discuss the project as we were conceptualizing it. Mayor Franklin, you've been a part of this project from the very beginning. Back in 2022, you took the time to visit one of our sites in Escondido. At the time, it was going up. It was under construction. And that's a testament to your hands-on leadership and strong commitment to housing solutions here in Vista. This work also hits very close to home for you. You've shared that your grandmother once lived in subsidized housing, which I know makes your support for affordable housing both personal and very meaningful. From the start, I've appreciated your collaborative and thoughtful approach, and your leadership has helped move this project forward. So please join me in welcoming Mayor John Franklin.
I'm going to ask Fred to bring me a couple of proclamations we're going to hand out this morning. But Ted, John, thank you very much for letting me say a few words. My grandmother Inez did live for about the last 10 years of her life in senior affordable housing. It was a HUD project in Kansas. And on an income of about $400 a month in Social Security, it provided her not only a dignified place to live, but more important, she found a community there in that senior affordable project that really afforded her an excellent quality of life. She had access to nutrition services. She had friends to come by and check on her in the morning if she didn't get her buddy beads in off of her door. By 7:30 in the morning, somebody was going to come in knocking. Now, I had the opportunity to make friends with a man named J.R., who was living on the streets of Vista, and he had $1,100 of income coming in every month. He was 67, and the people that were unfortunately living with him were stealing his money every single month. And we helped get J.R. off the streets into a shelter and into permanent housing. But there are too few opportunities, and I want to say this, and this is very important to all of you that were involved in building affordable housing. This product is one that really focuses on a pathway for people to come off the street, out of the most severe housing vulnerability, and to recover from homelessness. But too few of our affordable housing projects are accommodating those individuals who are at the lowest or the highest, I should say, vulnerability index. So this product that you're creating with permanent supportive housing to truly help those individuals that need that extra hand and who are at the very lowest end of the income spectrum, who would otherwise live and potentially die on our streets, is so important. I really appreciate you allowing the city of Vista to partner, and I want to thank all the members of the council who immediately recognized the importance of this project and decided to invest through our housing fund. It was an honor. And so I want to award a couple of proclamations here from the city, and I've got my helper Fred here is going to help me, but I wanted to quickly read this proclamation to you. It says, whereas the City of Vista celebrates the grand opening of the Santa Fe Senior Village and its strong partnerships with National Core, the San Diego Community Housing Corporation, the Hope Through Housing Foundation, who have successfully developed the Senior Santa Fe affordable housing community. Whereas Santa Fe Senior Village helps fill Vista's growing needs for affordable housing while focusing on senior citizens who represent the state's fastest growing population facing homelessness. Whereas Santa Fe Senior Village provides 54 stunning apartment homes, of which 27 are fully furnished as permanent supportive housing for individuals and families who are at risk of becoming homeless or were homeless, and 2 who are reserved for veterans. And thank you for that. That's incredibly important to us as a strong veteran community. Whereas the Hope Through Housing Foundation will provide residents with on-site services and programs to connect them throughout Vista, the Vista community, meet their basic needs, and help them maintain their physical and mental health partnerships with the County of San Diego Behavioral Health Services, multiple community PACE providers, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. This will ensure that residents here will be equipped with the tools and resources that they need to achieve long-term housing stability. And now, therefore, I, as the mayor of the City of Vista, and the members of the Vista City Council, do hereby declare and honor that Tuesday, April 15th, 2025, will be Santa Fe Senior Village Day in the City of Vista. And I lost my notes here, Fred, but I think we have for National Core, for the foundation, and who's the third recipient we wanted to hand these to? Maybe we can get a picture. It was, the Hope Through Housing Foundation. Let's, would you come up and take a picture? Well, Ted, you want to come up and hold one of these too? All right. And anybody else, maybe the supervisor would like to come take a photograph if he's still here? All right. Yeah. Good. Thank you very much, Fred. Yeah, I'll have the whole council come on up. Great. Thank you.
All right, come around, everyone.
Come around.
Should we go against this wall?
Yeah, I think that would be a lot better because then we've got this podium right there.
Switch. Shift.
There you go. Squish, squish, squish. All right.
Who are we looking at?
Over there first. Let's go down the line. Good. Taking it in. All right, look over here, everyone. Here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Another 1, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay, wait. One over here. Sorry, everyone. There we go.
Okay. All right. Thank you again. Thank you again to all who were involved with this project. There's so many of you here, too many to thank. But the last thought here is this council and I have given a mandate to the people of Vista, to our staff, to all of our partners, to know every single person experiencing homelessness as a human being, to know their name, and to learn and understand the drivers of their individual causes of homelessness and the hurdles that they face. Having a product like this to help each one of them with a tailored solution for housing permanently is an incredible asset to our city. Thank you for the good work that all of you do every single day.
I had a chance to meet with the deputy mayor and walk the grounds of City Hall a couple years ago to talk about supportive services for permanent supportive housing. AJ was with me, she probably remembers that. But during the development process, what really stood out to me was the deputy mayor's continued involvement throughout the course of the project. She followed up with us during construction. John and I had a call with her once construction was complete. And she just wanted to make sure that everything was going well and that the project was, on time and coming together. That kind of follow through speaks volumes. The city has been taking major steps to address homelessness in a thoughtful and strategic way. There's been the strategic plan to end homelessness, creating a homeless working group to guide solutions, and supporting outreach and engagement with the local service providers. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Mayor Melendez.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. Congratulations to everyone for this successful moment that we're in. From our first approval of the project to being here at the groundbreaking to now being in this beautiful finished community. It's really an honored and tremendous moment for me to be a part of, and I really thank you for having me. I also want to say thank you to all the residents that are here. I think I might see some residents that are here today. Welcome to our Vista community. We are so happy that you're here, and I hope you enjoy the entertainment happening at the skate park every day, right? We got some intergenerational flair happening, and that's hopefully adding to the character. And thank you for the introduction. It's been an honor to work with all of you on this project, and I'd love to share a little bit more about why this project is so important to me. Before I was elected, in 2020, I was providing services in the community and doing housing navigation for a nonprofit locally, and I found that there were a lot of folks that needed housing, right? I remember one gentleman who was a veteran and just a friend to everybody who connected with him and offered services to him. And we were able to find him some housing through Sober Living, and we were able to help him initiate that housing, put a little funding forward, and as nonprofits do, they do their best with the resources available to them to get folks into housing. But something wasn't sticking for this person. Like I said, he was a veteran. He was very ambitious. He was sober. He was doing everything right. But even though he had a place to stay, it was strange. He would end up back in the encampments. He would end up back in the brush. And we wondered why. And through our discussions and our working with him, we found that he was going to stay with another veteran friend that he had, who was also living out in the encampments. And we were never able to really connect him to the housing and services that he needed. And his story motivated me to run for office and to make sure that we have the resources for people. And now there's a change. Now we have the resources available for seniors and veterans and those who are vulnerable in our community to have the housing, the integrated housing, the life-saving housing that people need. And this type of permanent supportive housing is the first ever permanent supportive housing in the city of Vista, and we are really proud of that. Thank you. It's a model. This is a model for the future, and where we're seeing housing and services come together to really transform someone's life. And I want to say thank you to everyone who made this project possible. Thank you to National Corps and San Diego Community Housing Corporation. Thank you to Hope Through Housing. This is a beautiful community that we have in Vista now. And thank you to everyone who invested in this project. Thank you to Supervisor Jim Desmond for your belief in this type of housing and serving Vista in this way. And thank you to my council members and the mayor and all of those in our city staff who made this project possible. What we're doing here is we are changing lives. And the circumstances that I've seen in the past, right? We have a new solution moving forward, and everyone should be really proud of themselves. Thank you all for coming here and celebrating with us today. Thank you. And I will ask for Councilmember Karina Contreras to also join us and say a few words, if you would like. Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much. I just cannot believe what's before me. You know, my name's Karina Contreras. For all of you who live here, you're my boss. I represent you on City Council. This is District 1. And I gotta tell you, if you're not doing housing first, you're doing housing last. And we know that that doesn't work. And this type of permanent supportive housing is the type of housing first that we need. We need it here in Vista. We need it in every city, in San Diego, and throughout the nation, because we know we are not alone in this crisis. As was stated, our seniors, they have nowhere to go. The cost of living is extremely difficult for everybody, but it's even more difficult for folks that cannot re-enter the workforce. So what are we going to do? Are we going to stand silent and look the other way? Or are we going to do what we did today? Are we going to come together and collaborate to ensure that folks always have a place to stay, that they have a safe environment, that they have a clean environment, right? This is an incredible facility that is leading the way in how we should build multifamily. These are homes for folks that have always deserved a home. But there's so much need out there that this is merely the tip of the iceberg. And we know that this need continues to grow. So I want to ensure that everybody knows that here in the city of Vista, we are 1,000% committed to being part of the solution. And it's strategies like this, all of us coming together to patch funding, right? It's not cheap to build these types of buildings. It's not cheap to build anything here, right? But we all have to come together because every single person here has been part of the solution. And there are so many more opportunities for us to build on public land. In fact, the city of Vista, we're looking at 2 other sites, and that's in the process, right, for more permanent supportive housing. But we need more. I know that you have friends that would love to live here, that would love to live nearby, and we just don't have the housing for that yet. But I promise you, we will continue. We will continue to move forward and ensure that we build the housing necessary for our community. And I welcome you. I welcome you to use everything that you can here in the city of Vista. We got a beautiful bus shelter, right here. If you can't make it all the way to the transit center, for those of you who can make it to the transit center easily, you can connect throughout San Diego. The 303 bus, that's the #1 bus in all of NCTD. How many of you have been on the 303 bus? All right, fantastic. Well, I also want to let you know that I represent you on North County Transit District, and I ride the bus. Sometimes you'll see me walking from the station over here because if I get off the Sprinter and I walk, I might get to my house before the bus does. So I'll come in this way and I'll see folks just hanging out, having conversations. Some of you may have received my card. If you haven't yet, I'm available all the time for you. We will make it happen. We'll get groups together. We'll have conversations about how to make your life better every single day. Because that's what I'm here for. That's what my council's here for. I thank you so much. Let's continue to have hope blossom here in Vista and throughout, and we will lead the county as an example together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council Member. Where do I begin with the County of San Diego Health and Human Services Agency and their Housing and Community Development Services team? I saw David Estrella here today. Thank you, David. You have an amazing team on the housing side and other areas that you oversee. The county has been one of our strongest allies in our efforts to create more housing here in North County. Their partnership, their commitment, and leadership have played a huge role in making projects like this possible. The county has done an outstanding job rolling out the No Place Like Home program, deploying those funds efficiently and strategically. They've shown a real ability to identify areas with the greatest need to deliver housing at a pace we haven't seen. But it doesn't stop once the housing is built. The county ensures that critical services are in place, supporting residents so they can remain stably housed and thrive in their communities. I can't think of a more deserving group than our veterans and seniors. They deserve the opportunity to age with dignity and stability. Please welcome Deputy Chief Administrative Officer of San Diego Health and Human Services Agency, Kimberly Giardina.
Well, good morning and thank you, everybody. I am super excited to be here with all of you, and first want to congratulate all of the partners for this beautiful location and the unique public-private partnership that it takes to make something like this work. As Supervisor Desmond expressed, the county has been all in on increasing affordable housing across our region. We know that housing is health, and that couldn't be more true than for our veterans and for our seniors. A stable home gives them a place to grow and thrive and remain healthy. And that's why the county has been investing record amounts of funding in building and preserving affordable housing. Since the County of San Diego launched our Innovative Housing Trust Fund in 2017, we have contributed to the opening of nearly 6,000 new units, 1,800 of which is just for seniors. So we are really hoping that this will continue to grow. As many of you have said, that we know the need is great and we are committed. Santa Fe Senior Village is the third affordable housing development partnership for the county with National Core and SDCHC, and we are incredibly grateful for their collaboration. We don't just provide affordable housing, but we do this to our most vulnerable neighbors, and especially here with our seniors and our veterans. We are proud to contribute our project-based vouchers, our No Place Like Home vouchers, and that 20-year commitment of behavioral health services here on site. I too want to acknowledge some of our county staff. Many of you have already heard the leadership of David Estrella and our Housing, Community, and Development Services team, but also our Behavioral Health Services team, the leader of our Affordable Housing team for Behavioral Health, Dr. Brenda Sarabia, is here today. And I think my colleague, Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for the Finance and General Government Group, Brian Albright, may also be here today. So we are always grateful for the county team. We have acknowledged the partners who are here, but National Core, SDCHC, Hope Through Housing, the City of Vista. It is really great when we get to all stand together side by side to celebrate. And mostly for our residents who are here, welcome home. Thank you so much.
So the next speaker is AJ Galka. AJ really doesn't need an introduction, but if you don't know her, you should. She's my go-to expert when it comes to supportive services. She's truly one of the most thoughtful and knowledgeable people in the region, not just on policy, but on the day-to-day realities of running a development and supporting residents. SDCHC is incredibly grateful for our partnership with Hope Through Housing and for the impact their team makes every single day. So without further ado, AJ Galka.
Wow, that feels like a lot of pressure, Ted. Thanks. So I wanted to start off just a little untraditional. It's not scripted, sorry, Will. And I want you to take a minute in your seat to think about something stressful that maybe happened this morning or last night. For me, it was getting through traffic to make sure I got here on time. And think how you're almost holding your breath. You're tight, your body's holding it, you're getting through it, you're figuring out a way to navigate your way through it, finding any resource you possibly can to get to the end, hoping it will end soon. I like to think about housing like this as that exhale, where you're finally able to just let it go. And think of all those micro stressors throughout your day, your life. This is one of the most important pieces that allows a space for health and wellness. I have the honor to be the Assistant Vice President of Operations and Supportive Housing, so I help in all areas of Hope Through Housing and National Core. It's such a blessing to be able to align services side by side with how the building is designed to how the operations function. So it's definitely been a gift. Hope Through Housing has been around for over 25 years, and we focus on breaking generational poverty. We work on implementing programs for all age groups, all populations, to ensure that they have access to what they need. We definitely pride ourselves in carrying out the mission every single day at every single property, and it's unique for every single property, every single community that you can think of. Today, at this beautiful community, this extremely beautiful community with all these beautiful faces here and beautiful people and involvement with this project, we know that our residents have a variety of different needs. They have unique stories, so we definitely are mindful of which partnership we bring in to each site. We're very lucky and grateful and blessed to be able to bring in the county, behavioral health services. We're able to work with our contractors like Alpha Project, TPSS, I'm not sure if they're here. We work with the Veterans Administration, Jonathan and his team. We're so grateful to be working with you and your amazing social workers. And we also work with numerous PACE programs for our senior services. We're lucky in North County, we have a lot of options, a lot of different entities we work with. And we have hope forging ahead. We have Stephanie as a regional director and her team that ensures every site is operating so well with residential services for each of these sites. And she's so dedicated and so passionate about the work that she does. So we're very grateful. One of the things that I think it was actually echoed, Ted, with you and John, is these sites will not function without property management. Property management are shoulder to shoulder with services, shoulder to shoulder with residents. We work as a united team collectively to make any community thrive. That includes facilities, who keeps the community beautiful. It's definitely a unified front in keeping things running smoothly, keeping the community lasting over years of use, sometimes hard use. So with that said, I wanted to thank property management, facilities team, supportive services, so VA, Alpha, Hope, Behavioral Health. If you guys could just stand up for 1 minute just to show yourself to the group. Again, Behavioral Health, Alpha. That is the heart of this site, along with the residents, and teaming together again to make this environment thrive and function and live on year after year. So this Vista Santa Fe is definitely a shining example of how cooperation and collaboration can bring so much joy to a community. Even hearing your words about how much passion you've seen from outreach into front doors, the need for more affordable housing, all of that collectively leads to today. And really appreciating the fact of how beautiful this space is and how much joy there is in every single person that's come up here and spoke. It takes so much effort and time and collaboration to make these developments work. We know oftentimes it's years, but it is oh so worth it for days like this. It's oh so worth it to have Abraham finish his final lease up for the day or for the month and meet that mark and make sure everybody has their keys and is moved in. All of that is that joy collectively, or walking into your own front door like Judy has. And it's such a gift. I want everybody here, as you're reflecting, as you're walking through this building, really to take pride in knowing that each and every single person in this room has probably had a piece of that part of making this project happen, and knowing that they're building this community in some way, shape, or form, and helping it thrive. Now comes my favorite part. We have Judy here that is a resident, and she's willing to share her story. So I'd love a really loud round of applause for Judy as she comes up to the podium.
I'm sorry, people, I really don't talk so much, but I'm here because this place is wonderful. It is. It's a blessing. I was sleeping on the street for 10 years, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry.
We want to hear you.
Oh, okay.
Go here.
Oh, dear. Oh, you can hear me now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm nervous, very nervous.
You got this.
I'm very nervous. I'm grateful. It's a blessing to be here. I was on the street for 10 years. I'm sorry for crying, but I'm very grateful. I lived in San Diego all my life, and I had a home, and I had, this and that, but my husband died. He got everything away as far as homeless, and homeless in 2015, and on the street, got beat up, everything else. But then I met Daisy. She's from Alpha Project, and she said she had a place for me. I'm sorry, okay. And this place is wonderful. I just want to tell everybody, I can't even read this. I'm sorry. Too many people here. I just want to say, don't look at what people look like, look at their soul. Because my soul is, a lot better than it looks on the outside. And that's what people are, from the soul. People, not everybody's going out there and they're homeless, but there's, there is. And I'm very grateful for this place. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm so sorry. There are too many people here.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You're wonderful. I'm so proud of you.
Anyways, I'm very grateful for this place. I'm grateful because, I didn't want to die on the street, which I was thinking I was going to do, because I got beat up and everything else too many times and everything else like that. But when Daisy brought me here, I'm thinking, where am I going to? Vista? It's just that I don't know Vista. I don't know anything around here. It's like, might as well go to Siberia or something. I don't It took me a while. I got used to it. I can walk to Vista Village, and I can walk down to 7-Eleven down there, And there's places I'm learning. Not too early to learn, but anyways, I'm very grateful for this place, and other people needing, I know I have friends out there still on the sidewalk, and shit like stuff like that. It's like, but they need help too. So I'm an advocate for this place because I'm very blessed. I'm blessed to be here. Yeah, I am. And I have to thank God every day. And I just want to say thank you. It's okay. That's all I have to say. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very blessed to be here. Thank you.
God bless you.
Okay, thank you. I am blessed. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, wow, okay. If that didn't make you cry, your eyes are glistening for sure. Judy. Yeah, my mom's name's Judy. And what came to mind is seeing you up here. Imagine if she was... That's all I need to say about that. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here.
Me too.
Yeah. Thank you. My takeaway today and the conclusion is, besides having Judy here and all of the other residents, is housing is by far on the top list. I think Mayor Franklin would agree, Councilmember would agree, Devin, is that is the most bipartisan issue of this country. It's got to be. Because without solving the homeless crisis and affordable housing and the housing in general, and I'm talking about market rate housing, I'm talking about affordable everything. Without that, we don't survive as a society. And yeah, I'm not saying it's perfect. It's not. We need some changes to make it better. from everywhere, but we're doing the best we can. And everybody out there that supports housing, thank you. Thank you for being here today. So for cleanup, here we have photo opportunity that we would like to do with the ribbon cutting. Where is that going to be, William? Right outside. And so I would ask in about a couple minutes, if you're a speaker, that you come on out outside to get the ribbon clipped. And then also Pat Meredith said that on the back table there's hats. Grab a hat if you would like. And then we have tours. I guess a tour of the facility that, and where should people meet Alyssa and William for a tour if they want to take a roundabout? Right here? Here. Okay. Thanks, Raymond. And with that, truly thank you and have a great rest of the week. Bye.
Wasn't it mandatory? What are you doing?
I need a light.